Now, more government divisions appear to open today over the issue of allowing assisted dying. The Palliative Care Minister, Stephen Kinnock, told us he would be voting for the assisted dying bill, unlike his boss, the Health Secretary Wes Streeting, who has very publicly said he'll vote against it. Paul joins me now. The cabinets were initially asked to stay clear of this issue, but the Prime Minister has been criticising those who are doing just the opposite.
Yeah, this free vote has become a bit of a free-for-all, Gamal. In essence, Cabinet Ministers have been pretty keen to say how they're going to vote in this, despite being advised to stay out of the debate when it began. Not least of all, as you say, the Health Secretary, Wes Streeting. Today, Robert asked the Prime Minister whether or not Wes Streeting had overstepped the mark by being so clear and so sort of eager, really, to set out his opposition to assisted dying.
I will not be putting pressure on any MP to vote one way or the other.
But why is Wes Streeting allowed to put pressure?
Well, nobody should be putting pressure on MPs. It's a free vote.
Have you told him that?
Well, look, I talk to the Cabinet all of the time, but the most important thing is that as we go into that vote, people take a really important decision.
Well, we understand that privately the Prime Minister has had a word with the Health Secretary, Wes Streeting, and all this stems from, as I say, the repeated interventions by Wes Streeting over the past couple of weeks, not least of all last week when he said that assisted dying could actually cost other parts of the NHS vital cash.
So how does the Cabinet split when it comes to this vote?
Well, pretty much all of the Cabinet have now declared, even though, as I say, they're really not supposed to be getting too involved in this debate. So let's take a look at who's for and against. For include the Prime Minister, we assume, Sir Keir Starmer, because he voted for it last time. He hasn't quite sort of committed either way yet. We've got the Energy Secretary there, Ed Miliband, the Culture Secretary, Lisa Nandy. We've got the Work and Pensions Secretary, the Science Secretary, the Chief Whip, which is kind of interesting, although MPs won't be whipped one way or another in all of this. And then against, some big names too. So as we've been discussing here, we've got Wes Streeting, the Health Secretary, the Deputy Prime Minister as well, Angela Rayner, the Justice Secretary, Shabana Mahmood, and then we've got the Business Secretary, the Education Secretary, the Chief Secretary to the Treasury there as well. This makes it look like it's kind of an even split. Actually, it looks, when you look at sort of who's declared publicly, that Labour MPs are about sort of 2-1 in favour of assisted dying. There are lots have yet to declare. And one of those MPs in favour is, significantly, the Palliative Care Minister, Stephen Kinnock. Now, he sits one below Wes Streeting in the same department, but he actually disagrees with his boss. He doesn't think, as Wes Streeting does, that assisted dying is necessarily a threat to hospices. This is what he told me earlier.
I will be voting for the bill on the 29th of November. I don't think it's an either-or question on hospices and palliative care. We, of course, have to work hard to improve hospices and palliative care, but evidence shows that often countries and places that go with assisted dying, you actually see improvements in palliative care coming from that. So I don't think it's an either-or question.
Was the Health Secretary Wes Streeting right to say that if assisted dying is legalised, that will come at a cost to other NHS services?
Well, you're asking me a direct question about my view. I'm giving that to you. I think that assisted dying is the right thing to do from the point of view of compassion.
Well, he and other MPs will vote on the 29th of November. That's next Friday. At the moment, I think they're quite optimistic, campaigners in favour that the vote will pass at that stage, but then the next stages really will be crucial and no sign yet of which way the bill is going to go, whether it's going to pass or not.
Yeah, complex issue. OK, Paul, thank you.